Welcome back to another segment of Lainey's Life, starring yours truly. Sorry, got an itch. Lainey. I'm videoing inside my kids' playroom. This is the wall of art. We hang up their pictures that they color. Anyway, update. A lot has happened since last time I came on. None of it's good, but let's get started. I want to try to do this as quick and painlessly as possible. On Saturday, nope, scratch that, Sunday, while I was in church, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I got a message from a young woman who, back when my younger daughter and son were 2-3 years old, her and her family lived next door to us, and we were good friends with them. And she and her sister, one of her sisters, was maybe 6 and 7, just old enough that they'd come over and play with Brittany and Sydney Micah, but we're, that kind of thing. Anyways, I get a message from her out of the blue. Haven't heard from her. Didn't even know where she was. While I was in church during worship, a very flippant message saying, "Hi, Elaine. Aaron's mother wanted me to reach out to you and tell you that she was in a car accident on Saturday and she's not going to make it. Period." That was it. Aaron is my daughter's nanny. So I immediately freak out, of course, run out of the sanctuary, call my daughter. She's in church, let her know this message. She doesn't know anything about it. I said, start calling hospitals, find out where she is, and I will try to get more information. Fast forward, my daughter does find out where she is. ICU, on life support, just waiting for papers to be signed for organ donation. What had happened was on Saturday, she was actually supposed to babysit my grandkids. She's had the summer off because my daughter and son-in-law are teachers. And so she was supposed to start back to work this coming Tuesday. Oh, I don't think I should have my grandchildren's pictures in this. Anyways, where was I? But my daughter had asked her if she wanted to watch the kids on Saturday, and she said that she had prior commitments and plans with friends. That's all we know. What we understand and know thus far, and by the way, this is Thursday the 29th. She must have been leaving this gathering, whatever it was. And hold on, let me get rid of this message. And drove head-on a county road, so a 2-lane highway, road. Drove head-on into another vehicle, killing one of the persons and severely injuring the second. And in the long run, she is passed also. She was drunk. Drunker than drunk. Plastered drunk at 4:30 in the afternoon. So the initial sadness and bewilderment was quickly changed over to anger and resentment. She stole somebody else's life because of her ignorance and took her own life too. So we have battled all the emotions you could possibly battle since Sunday afternoon. Her wake is tomorrow. Senseless. And I said if she had lived, she would have spent the majority of the rest of her life in jail anyways. Because at the very least it would have been voluntary manslaughter. Couple driving down the road, beautiful day on Saturday, enjoying the day, and in a second, one of them's gone because somebody got behind the wheel of a car drinking. Ignorance and not ignorance, I'm sorry, pure stupidity and selfishness. And I have no words to describe how I feel against her now, even though she's lost her life. Because she did that to herself. My grandkids are, 2 to 8 years old. They don't quite get this, except my granddaughter wants to know, make sure she's in heaven. And quite honestly, if I was to tell you what I think, no, she's not in heaven. She was not a born-again Christian. She was not living a Christian life. But again, I don't know. I'm not God and I can't judge. All I can tell you is that I would guess no. But I don't say that to my granddaughter. I just say, honey, I don't know. We don't know. We hope she is. And that's why it's important that we do what we can to make sure we know that we are going to go to heaven. So then my daughter has 8 days to find a whole new sitter. We've got it pretty much covered. I won't go into all that, but the way it stands now, starting next week, I will be watching the youngest on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 o'clock until 3:30ish. The rest of the time has been covered by 2 other people. My 4-year-old grandson will be going to full-time pre-K. So they only have to pay a sitter to watch 1 child. So on Monday, after all this, we decide to go out on the boat. Probably the last time we'll be on the boat, that it will be warm and wearing bathing suits and swimming. We might go on the boat again, maybe sometime in the fall. Maybe in September, not October. They get the boat out of the water and winterize it after that. But maybe in September, this coming month, we might, probably won't. But anyways, it was our last voyage of going out on this really nice lake, Skinny Atlas Lake. It was just my husband and I, my daughter, son-in-law, and kids. Took them out to lunch at a really nice restaurant that's right there on the lake. And spent the whole day out on the lake. And I was perfectly fine. Absolutely 100% fine. Mal debarkment. That's how you know. Hallmark sign of me being in constant movement, I am great. When I stop, I'm miserable. I actually remember saying to my daughter at one point when my son-in-law was going across the lake and we were hitting waves like this and the boat's doing this, and I've never in my life gotten motion sickness ever. So I don't ever have that problem. Even when we've taken cruises, people would always have the little patch behind their ear or the wristlets and everything. And I'm like, what's that all about? That never bothers me. But when we're going like this, and I looked over at my daughter and I was like, this is the best. I feel the best doing this. I should do this 24 hours because I feel great. End of the day, we had anchored close to a shoreline, about 3.5, 4 feet of water, where the kids were playing in the sand and, throwing sand at each other with my husband, and they were all in the water playing and everything, having a great day. And then it's time to leave, and the anchor had just sinked down into the sand, and they couldn't pull it up from the boat, where they usually can pull it up from the boat. My son-in-law had already changed into his dry clothes. My husband had not. He decides, I'll get out and, tug at it from in. And he jumps out of the boat, forgetting that we're in shallow water, and immediately screams out a scream that a wife knows that's not normal. I broke my leg. Oh my God, I broke my leg. Nurse Laney just goes into action of all the things I need to do for a broken leg, what I'm going to do, how to deal with this. Got to call 911 because we're too far from any local hospitals for me to get him in my car. If it's the way he screamed, I thought it was going to be a compound fracture. I truly thought that when he pulled it out of the water, it was going to be bad. He broke his ankle. When he got out of the water, I assessed him and I said, you broke your ankle. Everybody, no, it's a sprain. It's a sprain. You broke your ankle. No, it's a sprain. I'll wait till tomorrow to go get it looked at. Be my guest, but it's broken, and it is broken. I was right. Don't don't guess me. Don't second guess me. Um, anyway, so he's in a walking cast, a removable one for the next 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. 4 weeks he goes back for another x-ray to see how we're doing. I love doctors. They always give you the, if it was 1 inch this way, if it wasn't 1 inch this way, we'd be in surgery. They always say that. And I'm like, it's remarkable that's never in that spot. But he did it, that fresh fracture. And he showed us the pictures exactly where, but if you don't do what I tell you to do, we're gonna need surgery. And that's what happened with my husband's elbow. He broke his elbow a couple years ago, did not do what the doctor told him to do, which was to keep it in a sling, keep it up, do all these things. My husband was mowing the lawn the next day. He ended up in surgery. And now he can't straighten his arm completely out at all. It's always at a little bit of a curve because of not listening to the doctor. So we'll see what he does with his ankle, but right now he can't work, and that's a concern financially for us because I'm unable to work. I'm unable to work a real job that would require me to be at a place at a certain time, whether I liked it or not. Babysitting, completely different. It's my grandson. It's here at my house. I have the luxury of, laying low if I need to, if I'm having an exceptionally bad day. So let me preface that by saying, yes, I'm still having bad days. I am not free and clear by any stretch of the imagination. I still battle with my head symptoms on a daily basis to one degree or another, but every single day I am battling. I had to go back down to 2.5 milligrams of LDN because I realized the month that I was on the 3 milligrams, I was actually much worse. My head symptoms were much worse, and I realized it. The red flag went up when one of my daughters mentioned it to me and said, you've been talking about being dizzy a lot again. And I had promised myself I would not talk to my family at all about my symptoms anymore. I had already done enough harm to my family. I was not going to harm them anymore. This is my battle. There's nothing they can do to help me. So I was just going to move on and pretend the best I can that, like everything was fine. And when she mentioned that I had been verbalizing my problem, I realized, whoa, okay, it's bad if I'm talking about it again. So I'm back down to 2.5, and we'll stay there for 3 months and reassess after 3 months again and see if it's even worthy of me to. I like that picture right there. Believe it or not, my granddaughter did that Star Wars character. Anyway. So, 2019 has sucked. I had high hopes for 2019, and then my mother died, and my brother has gotten much worse. He just had a heart ablation a couple days ago. We're hoping that will give him some relief with some of his problems, but clearly it's not going to do anything long term with his real problems. And we are fervently trying to find a place for him to live. He wants to be back here in upstate New York by November instead of next spring. He doesn't want to wait. And so far we have not come up with anywhere for him to go. And he can't stay with me. So, it's been a crappy year. It's been a really crappy year. But God has graced me, has given me the ability to live with what I have. I was just talking to my sister this morning, and how you doing? I said, Sharon, this is my life. It's as if I had diabetes. This is what I have. I'm not going to fix it. I even attempted to reach out to Mount Sinai, who has a clinic for Mdds. And it's too much money which insurance does not pay for at all, and it's non-refundable, and there's a lot of traveling involved, so it's a 2 thumbs down for me. It's not going to happen. So I said, this is my life, and I have to just live it, and I'm just going to, there's going to be days that I'm not going to do as much as I can, and there's going to be days that I'm just going to push and do as much as I can. I will say the LDN has helped with the full body pain that I would have. I still have. My neck has been bothering me a lot lately, but I think it's because I've been doing a lot with the kids. I've had the kids a lot, been picking them up, playing with them, wrestling, that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to attribute that to the herniated discs and wait it out. Somebody's mowing the lawn, so that's what you hear in the background. But that overall, my feet still hurt. My feet hurt horribly. But the pain that I was feeling before the LDN, that the fibromyalgia pain, seems to have come down. Oh, really? I can't give you a percentage. Sleep is still horrid. Last night, first time in months and months again, that I ended up having to take a smidgen more of my Klonopin, just a smidgen, not even I don't even know, it's not even measurable. First time I've done it since I've cut down to 0.25, as a matter of fact, as far as I can remember. That may not be completely honest, but I don't remember. Anyway, because I could not sleep. And sleep is, as you all know, it's the only time that you can rejuvenate and be away from this misery. Excuse me. So, had my granddaughter 2 days ago. Had a date day with her. Didn't do much of yesterday. I did some running around, did some errands. Today I have not gone anywhere other than took my 3-mile walk. Yes, people, I walk. Whoa, that must mean I'm way better than you. That's all I'm going to say. Because I can walk 3 miles does not mean I'm way better than you. It means that I have been doing it for years and years and years, and it's almost like brushing my teeth. And is it easy? I'm not going to go into this anymore. I'm tired of explaining the fact that I walk 3 miles. Because there are people out there that say, well, if she can walk 3 miles, she's not as sick as she says she is. I don't have to defend myself about that. I walk, and that's all I'm going to say about that. If I was to try to start a new exercise program right now, I will not be able to. Not easily. Not without the grace of God. So, I'm going to attempt to go visit an old friend who put a post up yesterday on Facebook. I've not seen her, and I don't remember. But she put a post up. Sounded pretty suicidal. She's had back surgery, which has left her with horrific nerve damage and pain. And they've been trying to physical therapy and, medication and all this, but the doctors are now saying that in about a month they're going to take her off the pain meds. And she has stated that she will not live with this kind of pain. So another friend of mine who has a degree in psychology and works as she teaches at the local college here, psychology, but she also has volunteered at Contact, which is a suicide prevention hotline. And they talked last night, and she's going over there this afternoon also. I asked her, the friend who's the professor, do you think she honestly would do it? And she said, absolutely. Absolutely, she'll do it. I said, well, good. That's great because I walked last year in the suicide awareness prevention walk last September. I think it was September. And I intend on doing it again this year. And I said I do not want to add a name to the list because since that last walk, I've added a name to the list. As a matter of fact, the person who, the friend of mine who is a psych professor, it's her brother who committed suicide back in May. I believe it was May, yes. So it's another name I have to add to the list of the people I'm walking for in memory of. Don't want to add her name. 2019 has really sucked. Forgot about him. Yeah, suicide this year too. So other than my overall health, life just keeps throwing you blows. And I have to just keep trudging forward. I'm going to church every Sunday morning for months now. I honestly, if you asked me last year if I'd ever go to church on a Sunday morning again, I would have said no, probably not. Just didn't see myself doing it, but I'm able, another way that I've just pushed. I get up, I'm dizzy, my head is whoa, I feel horrible, my stomach, everything could be going wrong, and I will get in that car and get to church and sit through church because by golly, I'm still breathing. But as I said earlier, I may never get any better than this. It's the movie As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson. Well, that's it. Is this as good as it gets? And do not have the funds to go flying around the country paying people for tinctures and supplements and drips and injections to just see no positive results. So I just LDN is what I'm doing. So any of you who actually watch this, I really do this for myself, guys. I honestly am not looking for an audience at all. This is my journal. I used to write in a journal, and this is my type of journal now. And I scroll back and see things, a year ago and where I've come and where I plan on going and just the differences and the changes in me. So I know that some of you who watch this are still hurting horribly. It breaks my heart. I know what it's like. I said this to this friend that I'm going to go see. I said, although your situation is different in that I wasn't in excruciating pain. I mean, she's using a walker. She can't even walk without a walker. I said, being chronically ill, I was in those darkest hours that I was just begging God to take me home. I know how much I wanted to die, but I had to change my mind so God would change my heart. He will change my heart, but he won't change my mind. I have to change my mind in order for him to change my heart. And that's what I've been doing for a long time now, is changing my mind, changing the way I think. There is always somebody who's got it worse than us. Always. And Saturday, if Saturday didn't teach me anything, it showed me that we don't have time to lay around. I don't have time to, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say we. I don't have time to lay in a bed and wait for the other shoe to drop, because tomorrow I could be very well be gone. And all of you could be too. None of us are guaranteed another second on this earth. And as long as I've got the strength and the ability and the stubbornness to push through. I'm going to, because I could be gone in another minute. And I don't want my grandchildren and my family to say, the only thing I remember about Gammy was that she was always laying on the couch or laying in bed, always sick. No. If I have to fake it, I'll fake it, fake it, fake it. And a lot of times I do. Especially around my grandkids, I'll fake it like crazy. I'll fake it in front of them. If they only knew. So, I'll leave you with that. I lift most of you up in prayer. I can only pray that 2020 will be better than this year. And that the Lord does not tarry much longer. God bless.